All right, so we have got some news regarding DC Comics, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is that well, we are getting DC Vertigo coming back. Although we did kind of know that Vertigo was going to return. Like DC had talked about Vertigo coming back in full force, but now not only is DC Vertigo making a big return to the comic industry, but also we're getting 10 titles. We're getting 10 different titles. We are getting a new Hellblazer title from there, a Swamp Thing miniseries that concludes a run that was tragically cut short, and some original titles from writers that really make me go, ooh, that's going to be neat. So we're going to run through the titles real fast and kind of talk about my thoughts on them. So first off, we have Fanatic, written by Grace Ellis, with artwork by Hannah Templer. Looks cool. From what I understand, it looks very slasher-esque. So I'm really curious to see where they're going to go with that one. I'm very curious to see where that one's going to be about. But these look a lot outside of like the DC Vertigo titles you already know and love. They're doing a lot of like original work, and that's what I really like about this is that it's a lot of original work that we're getting from this series, and I truly do appreciate that. That's what we're getting is a lot of originality rather than just Swamp Thing and Hellblazer or Sandman, which I don't even think they're going to touch Sandman anymore because of the Neil Gaiman thing. But yeah, we'll see how it. At the end of the day, we'll see how it goes. But anyway, as I was saying. So that was Fanatic. Then we have Necrocretaceous, which is arguably the one title I'm probably going to want to read the most. It's basically zombie dinosaurs. Let me say that again. Zombie dinosaurs. And it'll be written by Tom Taylor, who already knows a thing or two about zombies already. So, yeah, I'm already excited for this. Like this, I'm already like locked in for whatever insanity this is going to bring. But Necrocretaceous is just zombie dinosaurs. That's all I can say. It's just zombie dinosaurs. Then we have The Nice House by the Sea by James Tynion. Now, Nice House by the Sea is a sequel to Nice House by the Lake, which was a sci-fi horror series from James Tynion back with Black Label. Which does make me wonder, and I'm actually going to bring this up now. Like, what's the deal now with DC Black Label? Is that being shuttered, and they're just going to put titles under Vertigo? Maybe I missed something, and feel free to correct me in the comments. Just don't be like everyone correcting me in the comments. That is so fucking obnoxious. I hate it. I genuinely hate it when people are like, we get it. You want to feel important, but one person already answered my question. That's enough. What was I talking? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know if they're, like, shuttering the Vertigo brand. I mean, not Vertigo brand, the DC Black Label brand, and then kind of like what they did when they shuttered Vertigo, they rebranded everything under all the Vertigo stuff under Black Label. Is that going to be the opposite now? I mean, it's okay, DC. You can have more than one title. I know you have a propensity to do this every so often where you just want to just shutter everything. And then, like, you can't handle multiple subtitles. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, why does DC have a problem? Marvel does this too, but, DC has a problem with that more often. But anyway, Nice House by the Sea. That comic will be a sequel to Nice House by the Lake, which is a horror sci-fi series. So that'll be cool. Then we have Bleeding Hearts, which looks like a zombie horror sci-fi series written by Dennis Camp, who Dennis Camp is like shooting up there in terms of like, Dennis Camp is definitely shooting up there in terms of like a writer, because Camp has done Absolute Martian Manhunter, also The Ultimates, and will be doing Ultimate Endgame. From what I understand, Dennis Camp was a indie writer, very out there indie writer who got a chance taken on him, and now I think Dennis Camp is definitely going to be one of those writers that you really want to follow their career with great interest. So he might be, Camp might be one of those writers to really look out for. Then we have 100 Bullets, the U.S. of Anger, by Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Riso. All right, I've never read 100 Bullets, and after meeting Brian Azzarello during MegaCon, I have no intention of reading a lot of Azzarello books again. Ask Mount Vernon Kid, and he'll tell you more about that. But if you are a 100 Bullets fan or a Azzarello fan, I got no problem with you. Have fun reading it. Then we have The Peril of the Brutal Dark, the Ezra Kane mystery, which will be written by Chris Condon with artwork by Jacob Phillips. I am going through these announcement titles so I wouldn't forget any. That one looks really cool. Chris Condon is another writer who's kind of coming up, making the come up as well. Condon is doing Ultimate Wolverine. They also are Condon is also writing Green Arrow after Joshua Williamson left. I need to get back into Green Arrow. It was really good, but yeah. So this looks really cool. I'm always down for a crime noir mystery, and I'm down for it. Then we have End of Life by Kyle Starks, Steve Pugh, and Chris O'Halloran. No idea what this is about. This looks like a fun sci-fi series. So if you're into that, I would definitely give this a look. And yeah. Oh, few more I want to go through because I am looking through these. Then we have A Walking Shadow by Simon Spurrier and Aaron Campbell. Spurrier is a good sci-fi horror writer, so I didn't really care much for Spurrier's Flash, but I might give this a look if I hear good things. Then we have The Crying Doll by Mariko Tamaki, with art by Rosemary Valerio O'Connell. This looks, again, looks like pseudo sci-fi kind of dark story. I'm getting a lot, I don't know what these whole stories are, and I don't want to make this video too long, but it looks neat. Yeah. So those are the titles. Like I said, there's also the whole thing of Swamp Thing and Hellblazer getting new books. So it's about 10 or 12. They're coming out of the gate swinging, which I really do appreciate DC is doing, of just like coming out of the gate swinging with this, because like I really do appreciate that. It's rather than just 4 titles or for 3 or 4 titles starting, they're doing like 10 or 12. They're giving a lot of variety to relaunch Vertigo, which I really do appreciate. So I really do like the fact that it's not like, in most, new title or a new line, it only starts with a few books, but now they're really just shooting out there with like 12. So I really do appreciate that. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of the return of Vertigo books? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? Comment below, let me know. Yeah. Like I said, Necrotaceous. Yeah, that's going to be the book I'm looking forward most to. But anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.